Home Affairs Select Committee, speaking about the resignation of Keith Vaz.
Frank account of what had happened, and he told us of his intention to resign as chairman of the Home Affairs Select Committee. He has issued a statement, which I think you will all have had, and he is writing to the Speaker of the House of Commons to signal his resignation, and in due course an election will be held for a new Labour member to take over as chairman of the Home Affairs Select Committee. In the interim, the committee have nominated me to be the acting chair for the next few weeks until that election takes place. Now, the committee listened, I think in sadness, to what Keith had to say, and with a good deal of respect. Keith has clearly acted in the best interests of the Home Affairs Select Committee and the important work that we do. And with sadness, we all accepted that that was the appropriate course of action that he has taken, and we also appreciate the many challenges facing him personally and his family. Notwithstanding the nature of the press stories, all members of the Home Affairs Select Committee across all the parties paid very fulsome tributes to the work that Keith has done. It is remarkable that he's been chairman of the Select Committee for 9 years, the longest-serving Select Committee chair. In that time, he has overseen the publication of 120 reports, and I think he has a reputation for getting the best out of witnesses, for being a robust chair, but also being a fair chair as well. And again, I don't think it's an underestimate to say that the work of the committee under his chairmanship has had a direct and big impact on government policy, on law, and also on public opinion at times as well. So it is with sadness that we have lost Keith Vaz as the chairman, but the most important thing is the work that the Home Affairs Select Committee does across all the parties represented on that committee. We are determined to carry on with business as usual. We have important work to do. Straight after this, we will be having a session with the new Immigration Minister, Robert Goodwill, and tomorrow we will be interviewing the new Home Secretary as well. I will be chairing those meetings, and business will carry on as usual until a new chair is elected, probably in October. So thank you for your understanding. I hope now probably you will give us a little more breathing space, the members of the Home Affairs Select Committee who've had to turn off their mobile phones over the last 48 hours, and I hope that statement goes some way into explaining exactly what has happened and why it has happened and what will now happen going forward.
How was Mr. Vaz when he spoke?
Keith Vaz, as I said, was exceedingly frank and open with the committee, as he has always been in all his time that I've been on the committee, and I'm the longest-serving Conservative member. He was genuinely sad about what has happened. He apologised to the committee for the trouble this has caused, and he obviously acknowledges that, and these are private matters now he will have to deal with. But absolutely, what was paramount to him, characteristically, is the reputation and the work of the committee going forward.
I wonder if I could address a question to Mr. Wood standing beside you. Now that the chairmanship, which will be a Labour chairmanship, is coming up, would you be interested in standing for it?
I don't think now is the appropriate time to start talking about who is going to become the new chair of the Select Committee, given the current one is still in place till his resignation is effective. And after all that we've heard and seen over the last 48 hours, I think it'd be a bit premature to start declaring what one is going to or not going to do.
Can you explain a little more about the process, what happens now in terms of...
Okay, what happens now is Keith is writing to the Speaker today to announce that he is resigning as chairman of the Home Affairs Select Committee. At some stage, we think next week, the Speaker will be announcing the procedure for the election of the outstanding chairmanships of the Select Committees, including the two new Select Committees. So in order to cause as little upheaval as possible, Keith has requested that the election of a new Home Affairs Committee chair should be done simultaneously with that. And so it's likely when the House returns fully after the conference recess in October, then those positions will be advertised. It will be up to, in the case of the Labour Home Affairs Select Committee, Labour MPs to be nominated, and the vote of all members of Parliament will take place in the normal way. So a new chair is likely to be in place at some stage in October if that timetable is confirmed by the Speaker, probably next week.
Mr. Acting Chairman, do you think any of the committee's work, either on prostitution or on drugs, has been undermined in any way by the allegations which now surround the former Chairman, Keith Vaz?
No, I think the work that we've already undertaken, the report that we undertook earlier in the year at the instigation of another member of the committee, not of the chair, in fact, to do with prostitution, the integrity of that has not altered at all. There is further work to be done on that particular subject as well as other subjects, and they will be carried on by the new committee and by the new chair when he or she is elected.
Do you think he was right to resign, given the circumstances?
Well, Keith made it absolutely clear that the paramount consideration for him, and it's not surprising he should take this view, having overseen that Home Affairs Select Committee for so many years, should be what is in the best interests of the Select Committee. Because of the media attention that he has inevitably attracted, clearly that could be ongoing, and that could undermine the very important work and very important studies that we need to carry out. And on that basis, he has taken that decision, and the committee agreed with him that that was the right course of action for him to take with regret. He will no longer be on the committee when his resignation becomes intact, but he signalled he has no intention to take any further part in the work of the committee before a new, or at all, and the new chairman will then take over.
You might explain why you're the acting chair is the opposition, the senior opposition.
I don't think we need to go into that. Everybody okay with that? We've now got to go back and get on with business as usual. Thank you very much, everybody.
OK, well, Tim Loughton there.